Oh my God, my gorgeous aquamarini, listen to me very carefully because at the beginning of this week, and this is gonna happen completely unplanned, like completely unplanned, okay? Maybe it's gonna be planned, but like about an hour beforehand or something like that, or a couple of hours beforehand, before this happens, you are gonna have some kind of a phone call, some kind of a message, some kind of information, maybe to meet up with a certain people or a few different people, and almost as if you are gonna feel, oh my God, really a little bit negative at that moment in time, almost as if you're gonna feel a little bit of fear and a little bit of an anxiety, because you are gonna feel like there may be some kind of confrontation, or you may be confronted by the specific people in your life. And you know what? My God, for the love of God, once that happen, you just need to understand to not hold absolutely anything back. I'm not telling you to have a row. I'm not telling you to argue. I'm not telling you to fight, but I'm just telling you to be sharp, to be strong, and to remain balanced, because you are going to find yourself within the few people who are just kind of not thinking about anything else about themselves. You're gonna find yourself within few different people who are just completely selfish, who are thinking only about maybe money or finances, or it's all kind of dark when it comes to these people, and you do know this, and you were aware of this before. And the problem is, and like, I don't like saying this, but the problem is that these people, maybe like the certain family members, or maybe the certain people who are very, very close to you. But as I said before, this has been going on for a while now. For the last few months, there were like a few different people in your life who were driving you absolutely crazy, and I don't like this, because you are the good one in this, and they're not good, and they're being very, very selfish, and you know this. You're 100% right. I know that this sounds all crazy and confusing again, but I'm sorry, my gorgeous aquamarini, your situation has been complex for like about, I think, for like about the last couple of years now. But the last year, it just went on a completely different level when it comes to this intensity, because the certain masks have fallen, and you have seen the faces behind those masks. And I don't like this. I do not like this, because these people are meant to be like the major people in your life, and you don't see life in a way these people see. You see life through your goodness. You are a hard worker. You are amazing. You are very emotional. You give so much. You give so much to those people in your life. And then when you get stabbed in your back by the certain people in your life, like 10, 15 years later, you just find this completely mind-blowing. And I completely understand you. I completely understand you, my gorgeous aquamarini. But you also need to understand, not that you need to understand, but you knew all this. You were aware of all this. So when you become aware of this like kind of important meeting or something like that, completely randomly, I told you, you're going to find out about this maybe like an hour before. And you are instantly going to feel anxious. You're instantly going to feel nervous. You're instantly going to feel negative. And you know why? Because already the masks have fallen when it comes to these people, and once that happened, you realize there were like there were worms behind, and you found this very difficult, because these are meant to be certain people in your life. Please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying everybody in your life, but sometimes, yes, it's like not always like this, and it's like basically it's a lot maybe to do with a certain money and people being really really, really greedy, and people just not seeing anything apart from themselves. So as soon as you become aware of this meeting, you have to go there. You have to attend this, because it's actually going to turn out again to be completely different to what you thought that it's going to be. One specific person within three specific people. I think there are going to be few people there, like some kind of gathering or some kind of meeting, but there are three of them that are going to be absolutely vile. But you can only stay on top of this, you can only remain balanced by understanding that if you lower yourself down on their level, this is not going to bring any good whatsoever. But what you need to understand that at the same time you have to remain balanced, but on another note, you also at the same time you must not hold back anything, because you need to put your foot down. You must not allow these people to do to you what they have been doing for all this time. There is no more, like, I don't know how to explain this. You know, you can be good, you can be nice, you can smile, but sometimes you need to become a way more sharper. So now it's time to put your foot down, to become sharp and to show your teeth, my gorgeous aquamarini. You know what I mean? But at the same time, to not to explode. Is this possible to do? Yes, it is. You need to show your dominance here. You need to show that you are dominant with these people, because these are vile snakes that you're going to find yourself around. And you know what these vile snakes thrive on? They thrive on a fear. So as soon as they notice that you are scared, as soon as they notice that you are, oh my God, this is when the bastards bite. So you must not show fear. You need to be strong and you need to put your foot across. And it's all about speaking the pure facts here. And you absolutely, as soon as you show your fear, then this is when the snakes are going to attack. And I am focusing now on three major bastards, three major people, three major snakes in your life that are very much so either related to you or they're either your friends for a very long time. Sorry to say this, but this is the truth. And to me it's more like a family members. You see, to me it's more like a family members, these three. And there is another snake, you know, which is definitely not a family member, that you have to be kind of aware of. And I've been telling you about that other snake who is trying to bite as somebody who is an older person in your life, or somebody who is really sensitive, somebody who is vulnerable due to their age. And this is what that other snake, who is not your family member, it's like kind of around that person, but you're also going to have that very, very soon under your control. Okay, and this is also going to be something so important, because you're going to see how much closer you are becoming to that older vulnerable person in your life. Maybe you had disagreements earlier on, but you are very much so ridiculously connected. You're so connected to that older person, like, oh my God, I hope you understand. But you are going to have such a beautiful moment of connection and reconnection, and that beautiful moment of reconnection it's going to come from you becoming cooperative with a certain problem, and this is going to bring you closer. Certain problem when it comes to these three bastard snakes, this is going to bring you closer together. And most importantly, this is going to be a sign and indication that that one particular snake around that vulnerable person in your life, you're going to be able to deal with that particular snake, because through that conversation when you have with that older person in your life, when it happens this week, also at around the end of the week, you're also going to have some kind of information that is going to come out completely spontaneously out of this person's mouth, that is so important to you, this older vulnerable person. And that vulnerable person is not realizing what this snake actually is, but this information that is going to come spontaneously, it's going to be your guiding light, baby, guiding light, because after that information comes out, you will know exactly how to deal with that snake later on. You don't need to rush with this immediately, but within the next 2 or 3 weeks, you will know exactly which step do you need to make, which step do you need to take. It's like, oh my God. So my gorgeous aquamarini, going back to the beginning of this week, when I said that, don't hold anything back, this is important, because if you are holding back when you go to meet those three snakes, what I said, at least three, when you kind of find yourself around these three people, maybe it could be just one person, it really, really depends, but I'm seeing right now three people here. So, by not holding back, you are not going to live in the past. By not holding back, by not holding back, when I said, you're also going to be able to forgive later on, and that in itself, it's a lot to do with your spiritual journey and you moving on with your life, and it's nothing to do with them. So this in itself, it's more about you not holding back. By not holding back, basically you are going to be able to become independent, and you are going to be able to move forward with your life. This in itself, it's really kind of going to, also at around that time, you are going to become aware of how much more spiritual you are becoming. Your spirituality is going to start coming back to you. I'm not saying that you weren't spiritual, but I do know that you had a certain blockage for a while that was kind of bringing a creative block, but a lot when it comes to your spirituality. So you're going to realize how much, at around that time, you're also like kind of becoming more spiritual, which is absolutely brilliant, because that means that there's some kind of a trauma when it comes to this. On one hand, this means that you've been through trauma with these people, whether you realize or not. That's an clear indication, but it's also an indication that that trauma is slowly but surely coming to an end. And this wonderful and this emotionally balanced person, I really like some kind of like you're gonna have conversation with this really emotionally balanced person. I really like this person. Somebody emotionally balanced, somebody who's very compassionate, somebody who's very diplomatic, somebody who's having things in control, somebody who has a perfect balance, somebody who's such a supportive leader, somebody who's ridiculously tolerant, and somebody who is so empathic as well. You are going to have a conversation with this person, and this person is really going to inspire you in the best possible way, especially when it comes to discipline in your life, but also when it comes to the power of being a leader. This person is going to have an amazing impact on you, and something is going to, my God, you're going to love this. Something is going to happen, and you are really going to kind of go into this energy of being a leader, and you will realize how much you were actually affected within the last maybe year or so. Things have been very, very intense, and that in itself means that you are really, all this is happening again through the spiritual domino. This is not random, because just 2 or 3 days later you are going to find yourself being some kind of part of some kind of competition, but it's not like a normal competition. It's more like a kind of, you're going to try to prove your point. It's more to do with emotions, and it's more to do with the people in your life. And that in itself, it's like when you become aware of, when you kind of like go through this competition, this is what's going to happen still at the beginning of this week. You're going to have some kind of competition, but it's going to be more like to do with your emotions than anything else. But it's just as important, like any other competition, because it's not about the competition, but it's more about what are you actually going to become, what you're going to suddenly become aware of. And you're going to discover something so amazing about yourself, and you're also going to discover where is a limitless potential. Okay, so my God, how interesting this is going to be. So that competition is going to be to do something with like a something like with your emotions. I know it may not make sense now, but trust me, it's all going to make sense later on. But then it's going to lead towards you suddenly becoming aware of something, some kind of discovery, some kind of idea where you will not, it's not only to do with like a limitless potential, but it's like almost instantly you are going to feel free while you're thinking about it. This is going to reflect on your free spirit, but it's also going to make you feel extremely excited, and you are going to kind of be in this mode, oh my God, I need to explore this, I need to explore this, and I need to explore this. And that's exactly what you need to do. At around the midweek, my gorgeous Aquamarini, there is like, oh my God. First of all, you're going to notice how calm you feel. Then you're going to notice how nice you feel. Then you're going to notice completely different vibration. And then you're going to see this like very like interesting sign, which is going to happen at the time. Something is gonna fall off and it's gonna make some kind of a noise or some kind of a bang, and it's gonna sound different to what it would normally sound, and this is gonna be your omen and your sign. Something is gonna fall, or something is gonna make like a very unusual noise, a sound, and it's gonna feel like it's like maybe coming from a slightly different dimension, or what you just witnessed, what you just became aware of. It's gonna feel like it's coming from a completely different dimension, and this is gonna be it's almost like, oh my God, you're gonna have like a goosebumps. And at that moment in time, there is also someone who died and someone who passed away that is going to be on your mind almost instantly. So this is gonna fall, it's gonna be like some kind of sign, some kind of noise, and then suddenly, oh, you just remember this person who died, who passed away, somebody who was in your life for a long time. You're going to remind yourself of that person, and you will understand, and you will know that somebody's trying to reach through, somebody's trying to reach forward, somebody's trying to make you aware of something. And this is the truth. This is the pure and honest truth, that somebody from the spirit world again is about to visit you, and that particular person from the spirit world was like, my God, a major person in your life, and you will know who this is. And this is also going to be a sign and indication that that person right now is watching over you, because you have been going through such a difficult time, and this is going to be a sign and indication that this person is on your side. This person is on your side, and this person completely agrees with you. And even more so, my gorgeous Aquamarini, it's like shortly after that moment in time, somehow number 7 is going to be connected to it. Maybe you're going to see number 7. Somehow number 7 is going to be connected to it. You are going to have a vision. You are going to have some kind of a vision here, my gorgeous Aquamarini, and that particular vision that you're going to have on one hand, this is going to help you to regain control. On another hand, this is to do with a specific choice that you will understand that you need to take, you need to make, and at the same time you have to be responsible. I don't need to tell you this because this is going to be absolutely obvious. I don't need to tell you this because instantly when you have this vision, you're going to become very ambitious. You're going to be extremely action orientated, and you're going to be driven to succeed. You know, this in itself is going to really kind of be the direct result and product of your fast thinking. But then also at the same time, you know, this in itself is already within 8 weeks, or within the next 8 weeks, this is already going to start unfolding. And in exactly 8 weeks time, you will see what is going to happen. Already you are going to have this important message, which is going to be show you that something started to move on. Something like this is really going to surprise you, because it's to do with something stale, and it's to do with something that hasn't been moving on, and it's to do with something that you almost forgot about. So this is going to be really good news, a really good message in exactly 8 weeks. So why am I talking to you about that? Because this is going to have a direct correlation with what is happening right now. I know it doesn't make sense now, but it's all gonna kind of start coming together for you right now, my gorgeous Aquamarini. Indeed, this is brilliant. What a fantastic week. So it's not only about problems, you know, don't get me wrong, but you know, there are lots of other things that are gonna be going on. And also at around the midweek, unexpectedly, completely unexpectedly, not related to this vision whatsoever, completely unexpectedly, my gorgeous Aquamarini, something that you have been working on for the last 11 months, something that you've been working on for the last 11 months, this is really going to surprise you. Something it's about to manifest, a big time, full on, fantastic manifestation. It's about to take place completely spontaneously. And this is really going to surprise you. But most importantly, it's like basically this is going to be a turning point, a fantastic manifestation which is bringing you a very, very important financial opportunity. This is ever so significant when it comes to your development, but it's also ever so significant when it comes to your when it comes to your self-development. Yes, that's right, sorry. This is going to be important when it comes to your self-development, but it's also so important when it comes to you kind of removing yourself in your life from one specific restriction. This restriction is so important for you to remove. It's so important for you to go, because this restriction that you've been suffering by or suffering from, it has almost affected you when it comes to your energy levels. So this is going to be a great moment in time and turning point when the healing energies are also going to take place. So you're going to find yourself feeling so much, having so much more energy after this moment in time. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, it's like, oh my, this is brilliant, because it's about this emotional stability. You are going to feel this emotional stability because somebody that you have been helping to, maybe this is your child, maybe this is your family member, maybe this is your great friend, but there is somebody that you love so much, some gorgeous person in your life, maybe your child, maybe your friend, maybe someone who you were like kind of helping out to. It's going to have such a good news for you, and this bless your heart. It's going to put a massive smile on your face, and this yet again shows your goodness, how good you are, and how much the real people in your life mean to you. Okay, if people treat you right, my gorgeous Aquamarini, when people treat you right, you are like you know, it's like vice versa. It's beautiful, and this is somebody that, you know, it's really nice to you, but and somebody that you were maybe worrying about. But I do think that it could be your child, or somebody a little bit younger, or somebody a little bit vulnerable, you know. But the bottom line is that you are going to have a really good message about that person, and this is going to reflect on your emotional stability, and it means that you were really, really worrying about this person. And so now, you know, this in itself is going to be really important to you, but you will also understand that at around the end of the week, you are going to need to set clear boundaries. Okay, and you are gonna really need to be direct, very, very direct, you know, when it comes to, you know, you understanding that, you know, basically, it's another, you know, conversation that you're gonna have here, my gorgeous Aquamarini, another conversation at around the end of the week, and it's to do with that particular person who you're gonna feel so glad about, who you're gonna feel so happy about, and it's to do with that person who was responsible for your emotional stability. So you will understand how much you were actually worrying about this. But then again, at the same time, by you setting a clear boundaries when it comes to that particular person in your life, and by you directly communicating about something, you will know what this is. You're teaching some kind of important lesson that person, and it's about that person learning this, you know. This is so important for you to do, because that particular person is, through you, going to learn an invaluable lesson for their life, for their future, forever. Okay, so important. And also, my gorgeous Aquamarini, I mean, this is brilliant, because, you know, what I want to say to you now is that, you know, a very, very bad stage of your life, it's actually gonna slowly but surely gonna start coming towards an end. It's not gonna stop completely, but it's just this absolutely mind-blowing realization that you are going to have, this mind-blowing realization that you are going to have at around the end of the week. You know, it's like you are just going to realize that something has come to an end, and that in itself is going to be, you're going to realize that something is slowly but surely coming to an end, and this is to do with several things that have been persistently making you worry within the last few months especially. So this is going to be the first time when you're going to start being able to see the progress, you know, of this, and it's also to do with like physically you being able to see this, you being able to aware of this, not only the way you're going to feel internally. So this in itself is going to be different, but most importantly, it's going to put a big smile on your face because the justice, my gorgeous aquamarini, is coming. Just remember to stay on top of things, stay true to yourself, and just, you know, when you find yourself surrounded by the certain snakes, make sure you're wearing shoes. Otherwise, you're going to get bitten. Okay, my gorgeous aquamarini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace, and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.